Hello, my name is Alan. I've been designing a logo every day for the past 20 days, and today we're going to take a look at the last 10 of them. First things first, the goal of this project is to design 100 logos in 100 days, and we've just reached logo number 20. The logos we'll be looking at today are inspired by characters and businesses in some of my favorite movies. We'll be looking at each logo's inspiration and doing a sort of self-critique of the logo, which will include one thing that I like about the logo and one thing that I would do differently if I were to redesign it. The first logo I did is Acceptance Counseling. This is the logo for Robin Williams' character in Good Will Hunting who counsels Matt Damon. The thing I like most about this logo is the concept. The boat is a callback to one of the counseling sessions between Matt Damon and Robin Williams and sort of stirs up a lot of tension between them right off the bat. And in the end, working through that tension is one of the first steps towards their counseling relationship. If I were to redesign this logo, one thing I'd do differently is sort of changing up the style. I feel like it's a little too minimalistic and doesn't really fit well with the overall tone of the movie. The next logo is Ariadne Architecture. This is the logo for the main architect in the Inception movie. The thing I like most about this logo is the building blocks that make up the icon. And I like the idea of how Ariadne uses these building blocks to build their dreams. The thing I would do differently about this logo is to play around with this side of it, how the building blocks are sort of punched out, and I like that idea, but I don't like how they ended up in sort of a checkerboard pattern, and I would have liked to find a more natural, unorganized way to show it. The next logo is David Norris. David Norris is Matt Damon's character in the Adjustment Bureau where he runs for Senate. The thing I like most about this logo is the red swoosh's interaction with the letters, leading up to the star, which is the dot in the letter I in Norris. The thing I would do differently would be to play around with this New York 2040. I originally tried to put it underneath here, but with the swoosh dipping down so low, it made it a little awkward, so I ended up putting it up here, but I would have liked to see it underneath somehow and played around until I found a way to make that work. The next one is Babbitt Collectibles. This one is inspired by Tom Cruise's character in Rain Man, who owns a company where they trade cars called Babbitt Collectibles. The thing I like most about this logo is the car icon. I really like the style and I like the vintage car done this way, and I think at some point I'm going to end up doing more of these just because they were so fun. One thing I would do differently would be to use a different car. There's a specific Buick that Tom Cruise and his brother drive around in the movie Rain Man, and I didn't really like how that one looked in the logo, and so I would have loved to play around with that one a little bit more and find a way to make it look good and work. The next logo is Tallett's Gym. This is the gym that Hugh Jackman's character goes to in Real Steel after his first fighting robot gets destroyed. The thing I like most about this logo is the overall Western feel to it and the bull head as sort of a callback to the opening scene where Hugh Jackman's robot gets defeated in a fight against a bull. One thing I would do differently would be to play around a little more and work on this bull icon. It seems a little, too symmetrical, and this piece up here is too big and too square and doesn't really have a lot of nice life and organic feel to it. Next up is Seahaven Family Insurance. This is the insurance company that Truman in The Truman Show works for. Something that I really like about this logo is the very modern house icon that I designed here. I like how the colors sort of break out of the bottom and have this white line in between them, and I think overall it just looks really nice. One thing I would do differently would be to change the colors. I like how this blue and red play together and the contrast between them, but I don't think this red is a very good color for an insurance company. The next logo is Metacortex Software Solutions. This is the company that Neo works in the Matrix before he originally exits the Matrix. The thing I like most about this logo is the color scheme. I chose the green because of the overall green feel and design of the Matrix series, and I chose the blue because of the blue pill. Originally, I did want a red for the red pill because the red pill is the one that he chooses to leave the Matrix, but when I thought about it, if he had chosen the blue pill, then he would have actually gone back into the Matrix, forgotten all about Morpheus, and would have gone back to work at Metacortex. One thing I would do differently would be to play around with these circuit board circles and the lines that connect them to the main letter M here. This one specifically, I feel like is just really way too long and doesn't point upwards like all the rest of them, and just draws a little too much attention. And it would have been nice to point it to the side and then maybe point this one on the left side up here and just sort of make them all match each other. Next logo is the Life Foundation logo. This is the company that creates the symbiotes or the main villains in the Venom movie. The thing I like most about this logo is the double helix DNA icon that I put in place here instead of the letter I in life. The thing I would do differently would be to play around with this word foundation down here. I don't really like where it currently is underneath the word life. It doesn't really feel like it lines up with a lot of things, and I feel like if I would play around with it a little bit more, I could find a better place to put it. Next up is Hogan Personal Protection. This is the logo for Happy Hogan, who is the bodyguard of Tony Stark in the Iron Man movies. The thing I like most about this logo is the overall composition. I like how all of the weights sort of match up and how everything lines up nicely and fits together, and it just looks like a nice, clean, solid logo. One thing I would do differently about this logo would be to change this angle on this piece that's sort of cut out of the shield. I wasn't really thinking about it at the time when I designed it, but after looking at it now, I see that it sort of stands out to me because it's a different angle than the bottom of these blue bits here and the bottom of the H and the bottom of the shield, and I would have liked to redo those angles and fix that. Next up is Watney Botanical Gardens. This is inspired by Matt Damon's character Mark Watney in the Martian movie. The thing I like most about this logo is the line art style of the icon. I haven't done a ton in this style, and after seeing this one, I think I need to do more. The only thing I could think of that I would possibly want to do differently would be to find a different font for this. I don't think this is a bad font, but it's a very sharp font, and maybe I could just modify it to bring the corners in, because everything else in the icon is a very soft, rounded, cornered line art design, and the font doesn't really match that. Overall, these logos were a lot of fun. I had a great time looking back at some of my favorite movies and designing logos for businesses in them. And my favorite one is probably Metacortex. I just really like that one, and I love the Matrix series, and it just turned out way better than I imagined it would. The next 10 logos that I'll be doing are basically the same idea as these 10, but instead of doing logos for characters or businesses in movies, I'll be doing them for characters or businesses in some of my favorite video games. One quick thing before the video ends, I have had several people ask me to make Illustrator and logo design tutorials, and so I've decided I'm going to start making little tiny 2-minute tutorials on how to do different tools and panels in Illustrator, as well as a couple maybe tips and tricks. If there's anything specific that you might want me to cover, you can leave it in a comment below or write it below any of my videos, really. If you see something in a video that's a future video or one of my past videos that's a technique or something that you want me to sort of slow down and show you how I did it, just let me know and we'll see what we can do. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys next time.